Welcome to this presentation on time management from the Harrisburg University Adult Degree Program. All of us have a lot of responsibilities in our lives. We have jobs, families, friends, and our own interests to keep us busy. Going to school doesn't have to interfere with all of these other responsibilities. In fact, this presentation will help you develop the skills you need to manage all of the aspects of your life and succeed in school. First, let's talk about a simple formula for success in managing your time. The first thing you do is deal with distractions. Then, you create an organized schedule and keep to it. And then finally, you learn to make the most of your study time. First, let's learn to deal with distractions. Anything that keeps you from your work is a distraction. You need to identify those things that really are keeping you from your work and then create a plan for managing those distractions and getting your work done. Let's read on. Start by asking yourself these questions. How quickly do you put things off? What activities routinely get in the way of you completing your work? And finally, how much of each hour do you spend wasting time online doing things not related to your schoolwork? Be honest as you answer these questions and write down the answers. Really think about the answers here. Here are some tips for managing distractions while you're studying. First, turn off your cell phone or commit to only answering the most important phone calls. Next, disconnect from any internet activity that isn't specifically related to your schoolwork. Finally, learn to study in short intervals and take breaks between those intervals. During those breaks, you can turn your cell phone on or you can get back online. But get in the habit of studying in very short intervals and then taking breaks and then going back and studying in the next interval. Let's look at organizing your schedule. Each of us has a different approach to scheduling, and the best thing for you to do is develop an approach that works well for you. The more you can organize the time that you have, the more time you will have to do what you want. Here are some tips for organizing your time. First, get in the habit of using a calendar. You can use a simple paper calendar that you get for free at the grocery store, or you can use an electronic calendar that comes with your email system. Learn to add to-do items to your calendar. As soon as you identify a to-do item, put it on your calendar and make sure that you keep your calendar up to date. So as you complete items, cross them off. As you attend activities or meetings or classes or whatever's in your calendar, make sure that you cross it off and that your calendar is always up to date. So as you're adding and crossing things off, your calendar is keeping up to date. Of course, you'll need to check your calendar every day, at least once, but more than likely you'll be checking it numerous times during the day. As you check your calendar and as you learn how long different activities take, you'll learn to set realistic goals and deadlines. And you need to set those goals and deadlines, and you need to take very good notes and check them regularly and make sure that you have an accurate picture of how long things take. Here are some tips for making the most out of your study time. It's best if you use any downtime that you have between classes or other times during the day to do some of your studies. Now, you might have to wait for a bus or wait to pick up one of your kids after school or something like that. While you're waiting, have some of your school materials to do some of your homework. If you can do a little bit whenever you have time, it'll make that time that you have for study go much more smoothly. You should get in the habit of having a quiet place to study, or at least quiet time to study during the day. You may not have a place that's completely quiet. You might have a large family. Get them to agree to give you some study time each day. Also, learn to study alone. Though you may have group work to do as part of your program, you need to develop study time for yourself. You should also plan out your study time so that you do a little bit of a large assignment each day. So as you have larger assignments, make sure you make some time each day available to complete at least a little bit of that large assignment. It might be something as simple as just reading over the assignment, checking your notes, or something like that, but commit to doing some part of that assignment each day. That way you'll always know where you are in that assignment, and you'll always know where you're headed. You should try to work on your studies on those times during the day when you have the most energy. It's not always possible, but whenever it's possible, you should identify those times regularly during the day that you have the most energy and have the time, and devote that time to your studies. Don't forget to take frequent breaks though. Study for a while, take a little break, go back to studying, take another little break. Be aware of how much time you're studying, but also don't be afraid to take breaks. Also, don't forget to have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Put your studies down once in a while. Enjoy your friends and your family and your hobbies and those kinds of things. The more that you plan your time, the more time that you'll have to relax and do things other than your schoolwork. As always, we wish you the best of luck in your studies. Let us know if we can be of any help. Special thanks to our colleagues at the University of British Columbia who contributed content to this presentation.